Hey, everybody. Monday. You're probably watching this on a Monday. Hopefully, you're in school. But if you're not, hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling better. Um, I see, it looks like a lot, not a lot. There are a few people that don't really pay attention during these lessons. But just remember, this is the only lesson you're going to be getting about the vocabulary words, the new vocabulary words. So I would think if you care about your grades, you would watch these. And some people I know because when I say something sort of funny, which is rare, I hear people laughing a little bit. So I know some people are actually watching, which is awesome. I don't know if you're not paying attention. Yeah, that's whatever, right? But hopefully you are if you care about your grades, because this is the only instruction that you're going to get on the new vocabulary words. Like I said that twice. All right. It's early in the morning. Patriots lost last night. I went to bed at like beginning of the second quarter. So I'm feeling okay. It's just early, but hopefully, if you're a football fan, you got enough sleep last night. So let's talk about the new vocabulary words. They come from paper towns. They could come from anywhere, but I thought since we're wrapping up paper towns, moving on to something else, these words you will see quite a bit in the future. They're really versatile. They appear in a lot of different places, and they're a little bit difficult. So let's talk about some of these. I'm going to share the screen. We might get some ads. I don't know. Every so often, it looks like there's a credit union ad there, but 13. Let's see, make it a little bigger here. 13 words. So not too bad. I'll go over each of them, give you a sentence with the word, and then hopefully, maybe at the same time, you're filling out the study guides for the quiz. That would be like perfect. So you might be able to get the definitions and the words done at the same time. You might have to go back and get the synonyms and antonyms. I don't know. Maybe you can draw a picture. Some of these are going to have very difficult pictures to draw, but like the first one, that might be a little bit difficult to draw a picture, but I think you can do it. Maybe you got a king or a queen or something. So, edict. Edict. You can see the definition: an order issued by someone in authority. So, a lot of times I think of a king or a queen issuing an edict, and their subjects, their people, they have to follow that edict. And it's someone with a lot of authority, because these edicts usually can't be avoided. Like you can't just brush it off and say, whatever. So kings and queens might issue edicts. If you remember from Paper Towns, Margot Ross Spiegelman issued an edict. And, in that high school, she probably runs quite a bit. And I think the edict that she issued, we usually use that verb with it too, issue an edict, was that Chuck Parson, leave Quentin and his friends alone. Stop chucking them on conveyor belts, sending them to the netherworld of the cafeteria. Nether, not one of our words, but it means below, beneath. You definitely don't want to get hit in the nether region. That's usually like below the belt, nether, below. Again, not one of our words, but edict is. You know what else is? That's adjacent. Literally means next to, side by side, next to. So if you think about my classroom, the classroom you're probably in right now, unless you're home sick or whatever, the classroom that's adjacent to my room be Mr. Bim's room, side by side. What else? Walmart. Oh, if you've ever been to Walmart, you could say Walmart is adjacent to Lowe's, side by side. Hopefully that helps. Not too bad. Maybe hard to say. Adjacent. If you want to sound really fancy, instead of saying next to each other, side by side, you can say adjacent if you want to. Sound really, really proper, really intelligent. Unprecedented. Yeah, this one's used quite a bit. So basically, like the first time anything's been done. Q calls Margot unprecedented. So never in the history of humans has anybody been like Margot Ross Spiegelman. Just because kind of the Patriots and Tom Brady are on my mind. The fact that Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, they won 6 Super Bowls together. That's unprecedented. Never has it happened before. Think about last year. Yeah, was it last year? It's hard. For me, I don't know about you, but COVID has really messed with my time because it's almost like we lost a year. So when I think back to last year, was it just last year that the world shut down? Yeah. I mean, we're coming up on almost two years, year and a half or whatever. But yeah, it was unprecedented. Talking more about sports, I have sports on the mind, but like the NBA shut down, the NHL just completely like, yeah, we're gonna not play games anymore. That's unprecedented. Closing schools. I think at one time in this country, just about every school in the country was closed. Come on, that's unprecedented. Never has it happened before. Crazy. And the next one is soliloquy. That's how you pronounce that. Soliloquy. And this might sound familiar because we have had a word almost like it. I wouldn't say it's a synonym. It's not quite a synonym, but they can be. Do you know which one it is? We've only had like 2 lists so far. This is the third. If you know it, just say it. The other word that we had. It's like soliloquy. Well, let's talk about what soliloquy is first. A long speech expressing the thoughts of a character alone on a stage. So the other word we've had is when somebody talks for a long period of time. The difference is they don't have to be on the stage alone. A soliloquy is alone. But, and that word is monologue, right? Those 2 words, monologue, soliloquy. If you remember monologue, what's her name? I forgot her name. Summer was in the car. She was delivering a monologue. Paper Towns. Margot Ross Spiegelman is in the car. She's delivering a soliloquy. She's talking a lot, and Q didn't want to stop her from talking. Remember? Wynn wanted Summer to stop talking. But soliloquy, monologue, think of it, excuse me, one person talking for an extended period of time. When you get into like theater and the stage, monologue, there might be other characters on the stage. A soliloquy, that character is by themselves. Pretty much the same thing, though. Maybe my favorite word from the list, that's vapid. That's vapid. It's another way to call someone dumb, stupid. Who's vapid? I can't remember it was either Lacey or the other friend that was just absolutely vapid. It basically means their brain is empty. They don't have anything to offer. And you can see this guy, what's the picture? It looks like he's knocking himself in the head. So he must be, how empty is my head? He's literally brainless. So, and then there's also the dull components. Like you don't really want to hang out with someone who's vapid. They're incredibly dull and incredibly stupid. It's a great insult. Again, if you want to sound a little more intelligent, you won't sound vapid, that's for sure. So vapid, dull, empty. You might consider maybe a book or a movie. If it just offers nothing to you and it's super boring, you could say vapid. Most of the time, though, it's dealing with people, stupid, dumb people. Hopefully, you are not vapid. All right, vindictive. It's a great word. It's a great word. Not my favorite because vapid is, but vindictive. You can see the definition. Seeking revenge. Somebody has done something to you, so you are vindictive. You want to get them back. In Paper Towns, of course, there's a lot of people Margot wants to get back. People who have wronged her, so she is incredibly vindictive. I would say that Q, not really vindictive at the beginning, but we've kind of seen him come around and do some character development there. English teachers love to talk about character development. We talked about that in class. He's changing a little bit. So maybe he's becoming a little vindictive. Maybe Chuck Parson. It's like, hey, I remember you were horrible to me. Let's get you back. If you want to get someone back after doing something horrible to you, vindictive. Remember, Jace made Quentin eat an earthworm. That's horrible. He said, hey, I'm going to punch you in the arm if you don't eat this earthworm. So Quentin ate the earthworm. Then Jace, remember what he did? Punched him in the face. Awful. All right. Illustrious. Illustrious. This is also like one of our vocabulary words from the last vocabulary list. Number 2. Hopefully you've taken that test already. Illustrious. Illustrious. You can see very famous, outstanding. So Tom Brady has had an illustrious career. Hard to argue with that. Probably, I would say, the best quarterback ever. I mean, come on. He's won 7 Super Bowls, right? 6 with the Patriots, 1 with the Buccaneers. A pretty illustrious career right there. Most people in New England, I think, would have to agree. Like, you like him or you don't like him, his career has been pretty outstanding, pretty famous, illustrious. Hopefully that helps. Pretty straightforward there. Has to be 2 things, really good, and a lot of people know it. Illustrious. Idiom. Idiom. English teachers love to talk about idioms. So when something happens literally, it means it actually happens. If it means figuratively, it doesn't. And English teachers love to talk about figurative language. Idiom is one of those things. There's like similes, metaphors. Probably in the 3rd trimester when we do a mini unit on poetry, we'll talk about figurative language more in detail. But I did want to introduce idiom. It probably is review, right? Probably is review. So doesn't literally happen. It doesn't actually happen. But because we use it so often, we know the real meaning. If you are learning English, these idioms can be really difficult because they don't literally mean what you say. So if you look at the picture, the example here, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I think most people would realize that means, what does it mean? Someone's in a bad mood. If you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, it doesn't literally mean you got up on the wrong side of the bed. If you're used to rolling over to your left and getting out of bed, that doesn't mean you rolled over to the right. It just means you're in a bad mood. What's another one? Oh, how about, hey, you hit the nail on the head. That's another idiom. Like if you're not literally pounding nails with a hammer, if you hit the nail on the head, it means you got it right. So hopefully you're hitting the nail on the head when you're talking about these words here. Hopefully you get 100 on the next vocabulary quiz. Faux. Faux means fake. I think it might be French. Sometimes you'll hear faux leather. So the people at PETA, they want equal treatment for animals. And they don't like seeing people wear leather because that means a cow had to die. But you could make fake leather from different materials, and you would just say faux leather. Faux is not always used as fake, but most commonly with leather. Yeah. Faux. Anytime you hear faux, think fake. Faux. Faux show. That's people used to say that a long time ago, but that just means for. Just another way to say for without the R. But faux leather. 4 more. Not too bad. Fun word to say, in my opinion. Laborious. Laborious. You may think the school day is laborious. Okay. You can see labor is right at the beginning there, meaning hard work. So that something requiring a lot of physical or mental effort. Going through the school day, it definitely could be laborious. When you get home, hopefully, if you've done it right, you've just been overloaded with information. You're hopefully just kind of tired when you get home. You need a little bit of a rest. You need to recharge. And then you can see those 2 people working on a building. I mean, building a house is definitely going to be laborious. All right, the next one, also fun to say, miscreant. Miscreant. Villain or a criminal. You can see this guy. Usually when you put a ski mask over your head, well, could be just cold. You could actually be going skiing. This doesn't look like this guy's on a mountain anywhere. It looks like he is trying to steal something. Maybe there's a camera on his computer, so he doesn't want anybody to see who it actually is. He must be up to no good. He would be a villain, a criminal, miscreant. All right, the last two here, a little Latin for you. A little Latin for you. So Carpe Diem is how you say that. Carpe Diem. I don't think we've gotten to that part in Paper Towns. I think we're going to be wrapping up Paper Towns today or tomorrow, but there is a part in Paper Towns where they do talk about seizing the day. It means like, don't waste your life. Like, live for today. Literally means seize the day, own the day, make it yours. Instead of, maybe some people would say, hey, I'm not saying I'm one of these people, but hey, playing video games for 5 hours a day or more, it's probably a waste of time. Get out there, do stuff, see the world if you can. Carpe diem. Study for that test. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Don't waste your time. And then the last one is just night in Latin, pronounced noctum. Noctum. So because all the things that Margot and Q are doing happen at night, I can't remember, but I think it's Margot that says, hey, carpe diem. And he says, like, we're doing it at night. So seize the night, carpe noctum. So he's just trying to make a little bit of a joke. All right. So that is done. Hopefully you have your vocabulary sheet front and back. Hopefully you got those words done at least. You got the definitions. You got the word itself. You only have to pick 8. We have 13. And then now you can use the rest of class time to try to look up the synonyms and antonyms, maybe draw some pictures. Maybe I think every single one of these in a sentence. Maybe you have the sentences already. I don't know, but I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you later.